A few months back, you know what the title of this video is. I presume I name it whatever I'm thinking in my head. A few months back, I used to stay up like 12 o'clock every night that I did or did not have school. I would stay up till midnight playing games, watching YouTube, doing whatever could keep me awake. Initially, I was trying to stay up, but eventually at some point, I started realizing that I no longer could go to bed super early anymore. And this, of course, worried me because after right around I turned 15, self-improvement and being healthier started becoming something that was on my mind. So, and everyone knows that sleep is one of the most important things towards this. So I started trying to figure out ways to go to sleep quicker. Around a couple years back, because my mom put me on it, thinking that it would help, which it never did, was to try and have me go on to melatonin gummies. If you guys have had trouble sleeping at all, you probably know what melatonin supplements are. They're just a little gummy, or I think in extreme cases a pill you can just take, and then that's it. And then in like an hour or so you're supposed to find difficulty in even being able to stand up. That never worked on me. And I'm sure that there's plenty of you guys out there that are like, melatonin doesn't work on me, this and that and this and that. I've tried all these different things and they never work. I've tried all these supplements. I'm here to tell you, fixing your sleep is not as complex and as difficult as you try to make it seem. You don't need to waste money on supplements. You don't need to use like several thousands of hours of your time. You don't need to do anything super exhausting. I'm going to tell you how I went from staying up till midnight almost every night to being able to fall asleep at 9 o'clock consistently for the past few weeks now, in less than a year. No melatonin, no money spent on my sleep whatsoever. I just went from staying up late and playing Minecraft or whatever to not even being able to really stay up past 10 o'clock without getting tired, which is a good thing. Because if you know anything about using your time wisely, you'll know that staying up really late just to hang out with friends or go to a party is a waste of your youth. I have never personally gone to a party or anything, but I've stayed up with my friends constantly over the course of our friendship, especially in the early half. Me and my best friend would stay up till like midnight, 1 o'clock, just playing GTA. And if we were playing Minecraft back then, we would stay up till like 5 in the morning, and then I'd go to sleep, and then I'd wake up at like 2. That was awful. I don't know how I survived that. Because if I tried to go back to doing that now, I would be just miserable. So, I am going to share with you real quick it's mostly 2 things of what I did. The third thing was kind of not... The first thing that I'm going to mention was something that happened by happenstance, but is like, a common logic thing. Everyone tells you to do this to improve literally everything in your life, because it's true. Your diet is the most important thing when it comes to every single aspect of your health. Period. If you're eating garbage every day, it's going to set back everything. Your progress in everything is going to be twice, maybe even thrice as slow than if you had a good diet with healthy, natural stuff. So, what do I mean by a good diet? Well, the main thing is to stop eating fast food. Stop eating fast food, stop eating high processed sugar, stop eating garbage that you know doesn't do anything for you except give you a little rush of dopamine the moment that you're eating it. What do you really gain out of eating an entire box of Little Debbie snacks every single day? And don't get me wrong, I know the taste is amazing. I love Little Debbie probably more than you do. Little Debbie used to be one of my favorite things. Anytime, like a year or two back, whenever I would go to Walmart with my family, the main things that I would ask them to get if I wanted a treat was Oreos, and then after that it was Little Debbie. But these two things tanked my health a lot. One, because they both have soy, and a lot of it, but also because they're really, really high in sugar, and overall just unhealthy food is going to make sleeping very, very difficult. This isn't like some sort of exaggeration where I'm like, 5 extra grams of sugar is going to make you stay up an hour later. But if you're eating garbage, you're not going to be able to go to sleep very good because you're going to feel like garbage. If you eat garbage, you feel like garbage. It's pretty sensible, right? The whole motto of "you are what you eat." It's more like you feel like what you eat. People who eat like good stuff like almonds, like the 4 main natural things: meat, fruits, vegetables, and nuts. So long as those are a regular part of your diet, at least 3, if not all of them, a regular part of your diet, you shouldn't have that much trouble going to sleep pretty consistently early. Of course, that alone is not going to just make you a master of being able to sleep anywhere. That's mostly down to the last couple things that I'm going to mention, because they're the real things that actually tank on your sleep. But I'm just saying, if your diet is not fixed up, don't even bother with the rest of this video if you're not going to fix up your diet, because it needs to be. It's not so much that fixing your diet will make your sleep amazing, but having a bad diet is going to hold it back a lot. I realized this in real time when initially the goal of me eating better was to get more gym gains. It was initially just for that, the better diet of more hydration, less sugary drinks, less garbage that has a lot of sugar in it. It initially just started out as that. It just started out as eat less sugar, drink more water, and eat more protein. Those were the only things that I did initially, and my sleep immediately got noticeably better. I didn't realize it at the time, but diet impacts pretty much everything that you do. So as I kept going through, I kept improving my diet more and more to get better gym gains. But pretty quickly, I was starting to fall asleep at like 11 o'clock and then 10 o'clock before I even implemented any real sleeping strategies. So if you have a really bad diet, don't ask yourself why you can't go to sleep very quickly or you can't go to sleep very early. It's not a question. It's just it's a bigger question on the matter of why aren't you eating healthier? It's been shown time and time again that eating healthier is not more expensive at all. At all. Just I can go to the store or something and I could buy let's provide an example that I would eat a lot. I could buy a pack of Oreos, right? And that would be a good snack for a good few days. It's delicious and all that. So people will like to point to this. It's like, oh, it's only like $4. $3-4, and it lasts several days just as it's on its own as a snack, given that you eat it somewhat moderately. Meanwhile, you could be buying like 4 or 5 bags of like this level worth of almonds for half the price, and this can last you weeks if you're eating exactly like a specific number of almonds. Like, I'm trying to hit 23 every day because 23 seems to be the best amount per dollar, I think. I don't know, but it's like you should eat at least 23 almonds a day. They make a really good snack, and they're quite easily filling because it's low calories, but they have a lot of vitamins. They're dense in protein. They have almost no sugar whatsoever because they're not fruits or vegetables, but they are still plants. I can name off. Maybe I can name off other things. I also always went off the top result of Google whenever I started eating almonds initially, and I just haven't questioned it. But almonds are really good for you. I have actually looked at it, and pretty much everything has said, yeah, that's true. High protein, high in vitamins and minerals, and no sugar. It's very few calories per serving size, and it fills you up way quicker than an entire pack of Oreos would. So, stop lying to yourself. This is cheaper than Oreos. This is cheaper than Oreos, and apples are cheaper than Little Debbie. You can't be lying to yourself constantly about your diet if you're going to get better. If you want to get better, you have to tell yourself the straight truth. There's no excuse for eating garbage. It's not more expensive to eat better. It's not any more time consuming. You don't have to make massive home cooked meals. Just like a little basic TV dinner can suffice well over fast food, and it's way cheaper. Even though the TV dinners aren't the absolute best, they're infinitely better for you than fast food like McDonald's or Sonic. And if you want to really go the extra mile, you could do home cooked meals, but try not to do things that take like an hour to cook unless it's a special occasion, because that's just a lot of unnecessary time that you're wasting. It's wasting a lot of your brain power to just sit there for an hour and cook stuff. That's why I cook eggs in the morning and I don't eat anything else. It's like, what does it take, like 20 minutes, given that I add a ton of things? Because it's literally just break eggs into a bowl. I mix it around with a fork, and then I pour it into a pan, and then I just shove it around a bunch until the gooey mucus stuff isn't there anymore, and it's all like properly solid. The only reason it even takes me 20 minutes is because I add pepper, salt, and cheese into it, which I might start taking out the cheese. I don't know yet, but I might start doing that, and it'll probably go from 20 minutes to like 19, 18 minutes. I'm trying to make cooking and eating as simple as possible, which is kind of like a whole nother level thing. You don't need to do all this for eating. But I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here. It's just like eating healthy is way simpler than people like to think. Just stop thinking you need sugar with every meal. You don't. You don't need sugar. The only level of... I think the highest density sugar thing that I've eaten in the past few days is when I pour honey onto my peanut butter sandwich, because I think honey's an estrogen blocker, so it stops me from getting as much estrogen in, which is really important with all the freaking plastic we have in this place. So, diet, don't make excuses for yourself. There's no reason to eat bad over eating good. The only problem is your taste and maybe convenience. But even then, there's tons of convenient TV home meals. Like, if you live in a bigger city, I wish I actually had these accessible in my Walmart. But there's this thing called commodities. You basically just go there for a ton of free food. You're supposed to, like, be on food stamps to be eligible for it or something. I don't know. My mom goes. I don't go. She just grabs a bunch of boxes of food. But she brings home boxes of food. And one of those times that she came home with a ton of, like, ready to eat, just heat up in the microwave TV dinners called Power Bowls. And they were like, you put them in the microwave. You don't even need to vent the film or anything. You just put them in the microwave. You just put them in the microwave for 5 minutes, and then you let it sit for another minute, and then you take it out, mix it all up, and it tastes really good, and there's no BS to it whatsoever. There's no sugar. It was somewhat low in carbs. I don't remember how many calories it had, but I don't remember it being a lot, and it was pretty good in protein. It had like 10 grams, I think it was 10 grams of protein per bowl. Like that, just 2 of those bowls are a really simple dinner. You cook up one of them. And if you're going lean, you will only need one of them. You cook it up, you open the film, you stir it, and then dinner's ready. Takes 6, 7, maybe 8 minutes. So, TV dinners are a really simple way to go about it. There's also other better methods. I don't know if the healthy things that I'm thinking of are actually called TV dinners, but it's like the little things of, like a broccoli and steak stew or something along those lines. They come in like a little box that you heat up. It resembles a TV dinner a lot, but I don't think that's what they're called. Anyway, it's way cheaper to eat healthier. A fast food meal that'll actually fill you up will probably cost $20, and it'll only be a few hours before you're hungry again. I could use that same $20 to have the absolute extravaganza meal that I had yesterday during my first round of intermittent fasting, where I had no breakfast. The only things I ate it was one big meal at about 1:30 to 3:30. I was eating one really big meal, and it was a peanut butter and honey sandwich with carbonate bread, which is basically just this bread that has a lot less carbs in it. I just have that because it also doesn't have soy in it, which most breads do. I just had one of those sandwiches. I had like 3 things of barbecue ribs, 2 things of like barbecue chicken sticks. I don't know what to call them. They were very thin. I think they were breasts. 2 things of barbecue chicken breast, 2 bananas, an apple, a few almonds, and 2 things of water. And probably all that alone, if I had to estimate cost, was like $15 for the entire day. Or wait, no, because bananas are like $2 a pound, so that's not... The bananas and apples were hardly even there, because I only ate 1 apple and 2 bananas. So that was probably like 50 cents for the bananas, like maybe 20 cents for the apple. So all the sides alone, they were probably all $1 combined. The sandwich costs about, because I put peanut butter on both sides. I put peanut butter on both slices of bread, and I put honey in it, which doesn't take up a lot of any of those things. So the total value of that sandwich on its own was probably only like maybe $1. And then the chicken and other meat was probably less expensive. I think I said it was ribs before, but I don't think it was actually. It was some kind of meat that we had left over from dinner the night before. But even then, all of that stuff combined with the barbecue sauce would have been like $2-3. I think I fed myself for the entire day on like $5, like that. Of course, I didn't receive very many gym gains, but that was a rest day, so I didn't need to. It was just a matter of like eating a ton of stuff and then going over to a friend's house because I knew that he wasn't gonna have food there or anything, because he, you know, it's a little complicated, but he doesn't cook a lot and his mom doesn't cook a lot, so there's not a whole lot of food just readily available that's like healthy or anything. But like for $4 or $5, I fed myself for an entire day, and it was completely healthy too. I mean, I could have even taken out the barbecue sauce. The only reason the barbecue sauce was there because it happened to be in the fridge. But if we didn't have any barbecue sauce at the time, I would have just ate it all the same. It just adds a lot of taste, and I probably should stop eating so much barbecue sauce because it has high fructose corn syrup. But like that and the honey was probably the worst things for my health in that entire meal. And it was $5. And it fed me for the whole day. It was two little like great value water bottles, which were probably like 25 cents, maybe even less each, because they come in a pack of 36 for $6. So it's even less than that. So it's probably like a quarter worth of water bottles. And I just had them there. I had 2 bananas, an apple, a sandwich, and a bunch of meat on a plate, as well as this very bag of almonds that I've just been snacking on for the longest time now, which is like $5 worth of food, and it fed me the whole day. Stop making excuses for your diet. There's no excuse for it. Because not only was that incredibly healthy and incredibly cheap, but it tasted amazing. Because bananas and apples taste great. Stop thinking that fruit tastes bad just because it's healthy. Things don't have to taste bad just because they're healthy. Yeah, I know. I get it. Kale, lettuce, that stuff tastes like garbage. Incredible garbage. I know better than anyone. I can't stomach eating a salad. I'm sorry. People like to sit there and eat salads whenever they're trying to lose fat. I can't stomach a salad. My mom eats salads like every 3 nights for dinner, and I don't know how she's still alive, because I feel I would probably gain more nutrition off of going onto my back into my like little backyard sort of thing and just taking grass up from the ground and eating it from there, and then from the dirt and all the insect matter on it, I'd probably gain more nutritional value from that, because lettuce sucks. I get it. A lot of healthy things suck, but you don't have to eat the sucky healthy things. Broccoli doesn't taste half bad in reality, and there's multiple different ways you can go about cooking it. You can have it steamed, you can eat it right from the fridge, you can eat broccoli multiple different ways, and there's multiple ways to make it fine. You can also eat its albino cousin, freaking cauliflower, which was the main ingredient in the Powerball thing I mentioned a bit ago, and that tasted amazing. So cauliflower can taste really good as well. When it comes to fruits, stick with the fruits you like. Eat all the fruits that you like, because there's not a lot of fruits that are bad for you. The only thing I can think of that's even somewhat bad for you would probably be watermelon, because all it really is just sugary hydration. And even then, watermelon's still decent for you. It's something you could definitely skip out on and not really miss a whole lot, but it's something that you could eat and not be unhealthy. This is a lot to say. This is practically becoming a diet video at this point, but it's like, I'm sick and tired of hearing people complain about their diet and how much more expensive it is to eat healthy. They'll talk about how expensive it is to buy... Go away, notification. Scram. I have this on I have my phone on airplane mode specifically for no notifications, and it still gave me some anyway because of my timetable. I'm just tired of hearing this. I'm tired of hearing people go out, be fat as frick. I'm trying not to curse in this, I'm trying not to curse so that it gets put out into the algorithm more, because I want just a few people to start noticing this. That way it starts growing at least a little bit, because none of my friends have really been resubscribing to this channel since I made the transition. Since this is on self-improvement and not, gaming. I've done no collabs with anyone on this channel so far, so it's been a bit of a complicated process. I'm practically talking to myself right now, but I know in a few years this will be big. I'm just sick of going out and hearing people say stuff like, it's so hard not to eat bad when it's so much cheaper. It's so hard not to eat bad when it tastes so much better. You're not missing out on anything when you go to Walmart and buy some broccoli for once. Much the same way that you're not missing out on anything by being strong instead of being weak. You're not missing out on anything. It's the people that are weak that are missing out. You're not missing out on anything when you make the positive decision to better your life. I thought about that initially whenever I quit pornography. I was like, am I missing out on anything? I realize now that I'm not missing out on a single thing, because there's nothing to miss out on. When it comes to pornography, all of it's the same, and it's the same. All of pornography videos are the same, except for like some novelty here and there. Basically, a lot of it's just same video, different actors. It's the exact same way with junk food. It's the same stuff, just a slightly different taste. You're getting the exact same experience, it's just a slightly different taste here and there. Just better your diet. Stop making excuses for it. There is no excuse to be made. There is no reason for you to buy broccoli this night instead of McDonald's. There is no reason for you to not buy some normal ass chicken breasts rather than some Tyson chicken strips. There's no excuse. You can think of any excuse that you can like, but they're all practically non-existent. People, one last counter argument I'll give to a counter argument that's constantly been presented is cooking time. I don't know where this comes from, because last I checked, fast food still takes 10-20 minutes for like a full meal. So I don't know where this comes from. Heck, the last time I went to McDonald's was with two of my friends, and we were specifically only getting cold stuff. I got an Oreo McFlurry. I think all of us got, or no, two of us got Oreo McFlurries, and the other one got like a Dr. Pepper, something along that line. And that still took 5 minutes for them to take it to us. I could have gone back there and made it myself in 2. So where is the argument for convenience even at? It still takes forever for fast food to even make your food, so why bother anyway? If you go up to Pizza Hut and order a pizza, like order 1 or 2 pizzas, that'll still take nearly half an hour. It would be quicker to just have food stocked up and then just heat it up in your microwave or your oven or whatever, and then just eat it from there. That's way more convenient anyway. So where's the argument even at? It's dumb. So, number 1 thing is to change your diet. Number 2 thing for sleep. This is something that I had tried out for a few months. Initially, I saw really a big spike in progress, but then it kind of I forgot what the word is. The spike in how quick I was able to go to sleep kind of slowed down. kind of smoothed out. I wondered why this was, and it was because of the third mistake that I will get to later. But this is the military method to sleeping. You may have seen, like, a constant old military veteran, like, stereotype is that they'll fall asleep pretty much anywhere. They'll be sitting on their chair just watching TV, and they'll be, like, asleep in a few minutes. The reason that they can do that is because they've learned the military method for sleeping. After consistent training on doing the military method consistently, it can make you go to sleep like in 5-10 minutes, no matter where you lay down at all. And this is way more useful than any supplement that you will ever take to go to sleep. I don't care if you're putting yourself under chloroform. This is way healthier and way easier than anything else that you'll ever find. For one simple reason. It's completely free. There's tutorials for it everywhere on the internet. I got it from a specific article, but there's tutorials for it everywhere. Because it's literally just how your position is while you're sleeping. Just lay flat on your back and to relax all your muscles. That's a very oversimplification of it, but you get it. So it's free, it's accessible anywhere. Anyone can do it. It doesn't matter what your body type is, how big or skinny you are, how muscular or weak you are. It doesn't matter. Everyone can do it. There's nothing that stops you from doing it. So long as you're able to lay down in any sort of capacity, you can do this. You can lay down on the floor and you can do this. I know, because that's another thing I'm going to get to later. Because I think I'm going to actually make this 4. There's no reason not to use it because there's no negative effects from it. There's no, like, back pain or... It's not a weird position of any sort. You're literally just laying flat on your back, so it won't cause any joint or back pain. You can't damage any of your body parts doing this. It's the military method for sleeping is all gain, no pain, which is very rare to truly come by in the current day. But the military method is like a miracle worker, especially if you can use it consistently, like every single night, because then you can get better at remembering how to do it. The first week or so while I was doing it, I kept looking back at the article to remind myself how to do it, which, don't get me wrong, it's really simple. I was not memorizing it like I should have. But anyway, the military method, it's you lay flat on your back, or anyway, you can't lay on your stomach or on your side while you're doing this, otherwise it can't work really as well. Maybe laying on your stomach, but definitely not laying on your side. So the best way to do it is lay flat on your back. First, you relax your face muscles, so stop making any facial expression at all. Just stop making your face muscles have tension. And then after that, you want to put your arms straight out to your side, lower your shoulders, and then relax all of those muscles as well. Relax chest muscles, and basically you just keep going down the body until your toes are also relaxed. And you get to the point where every single body part of yours is relaxed, so you start to become drowsy really quickly, so long as you can stay relaxed. I started doing this a few months ago. I haven't really kept super consistent with it because I've started doing other stuff, and also it's just something I kept forgetting. I don't know how I would forget it, but I'm not a very good memory, I guess. But I would lay down, I would do all that, and I would be asleep in 15 minutes at most. And that was within the first little while of me doing it. The article that I read said I wish I could link it to you, but I've lost it to time. I might be able to go find it specifically for this video. But the article said that the research was done in about 6 months. In about 6 months of people using this in their sleep schedule consistently, like every day, over the course of 6 months, they would be able to fall asleep in anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes from them starting to lay down to them going to sleep was a 2 to 5 minute waiting period. That's insane, because and I used to be the kind of person that would wait until I had to lay there for like an hour to go to sleep. Now I only have to wait like 10 minutes because the military method is so effective, and I haven't even been using it the full 6 months. It's incredibly insane, and I'm surprised more people don't talk about it in like the sleepworking space, because it's like that. And the reason why it's called the military method, of course, is that it's taught in the military. You're taught it so that you can sleep pretty much anywhere in any horrid conditions at all. You can like lay in a trench or on the back of a vehicle, something like that, and you can fall asleep still really easily, so you can get your necessary hours in. That's where it comes from. It's literally a method used by military infantry to be able to sleep anywhere. And like that. The military method is quite a simple one. I really don't have much to add on it. Just look up military method or go to the link that I'm going to put down below for the article. And all of it will give you a step-by-step guide on how to do it. And then within a week or couple weeks, you can probably go to sleep twice as quick after you lay down. So the third thing is stimulation and its effect on your brain. You've probably heard this a million times now, because if you watch these kind of videos, you know what I'm about to mention. Watching YouTube videos, playing video games, doing any of that sort of stuff right before bed is so damaging to your efforts to sleeping. People like to talk about how they go home and they watch movies or they play video games, and they're like, oh, it's just my way of relaxing. Oh, you may feel somewhat relaxed because you're feeling lazy, but you're not relaxing at all because your brain is hyperstimulated. So what you want to do, like an hour before going to bed, is turn off all your screens except for reading, and that's really it. Maybe communications as well, but you should not be consuming any media entertainment for like an hour before going to bed. You'll immediately start to notice it on the first night. You'll get tired quite quickly. If it feels kind of impossible, like you're having a difficult time just sitting in your room doing nothing for like an hour, then you should probably go on a dopamine detox, because chances are you haven't really figured out how to live life without a constant surge of dopamine, or whatever the neuroscience is for it. You haven't been able to figure out how to be bored for extended periods of time. Which, being bored is a really helpful tool, because just sitting for like an hour is how you can start to think better. I had to sneeze. Just sitting in a quiet room for an hour can help you think better and become more mindful, which mindfulness meditation is also another thing you can do for sleeping, but that's like a common sense thing as well, and that's not its main thing anyway. But I'll tack that on here as well. Mindfulness and meditation, and especially mindfulness meditation, really helps in going to sleep as well. It's mostly just because like everything's calmed down, and You're just sitting there focusing on your breathing. It's really calm, so it just gets really drowsy. It's a very basic. But the last thing I'm going to mention is I need to start writing a script for these. This is really painful to try and remember everything. Yes. Reduce the level of comfort needed to go to bed. This sounds very broad, but let me explain. People that sleep on a mattress on the floor, if you're friends with one of them, which I am, if you're friends with one of them, you'll know that it doesn't take them near as long to go to sleep as you probably do. Like if they sleep on the mattress on the floor versus on a mattress on a bed with tons of sheets, pillows, and blankets. It probably takes them way less time because all they have is a pillow, a blanket, and a mattress. It's literally on the ground. This is laying on the ground. You can take this another step further by just removing the mattress out of it, which is what I've done. And it's made me be able to go to sleep a lot quicker for tons of different locations and areas. It's very similar in effect to the military method. Extended use over time has made me be able to fall asleep way quicker and be way less tired throughout the day. Basically, my bed is just a little safe haven for whatever stuff I happen to be selling. These are just the almonds from earlier, as well as the pillow and blankets temporary location until I move this very chair to over there where that air filter is. Put the air filter on the bed and then put all this bedding on the ground right here. And that's how I sleep. It's a bed sheet on top of the carpet and then the pillows and blankets where they would normally go. And I've been doing that very consistently for a month-ish now. And I go to sleep very easily now. I lay down at like 9. I probably fall asleep at 9:10, 9:15, given that there's no noise outside, but that's not really in my control. Which is why I usually do mindfulness meditation beforehand. So, all these things through this video so far. The diet one was a really big tangent. This should have only been like 30 minutes long. But it was diet. Make sure your diet is good, because if you're not eating good, then nothing in your life is going to be good. In the military method for sleeping, this is the best sleep supplement aid anything you could ever imagine, because it's all benefit, no cost. No matter who you are, it will definitely help you in some way. Stop stimulating yourself before you go to bed. If you play video games or you watch YouTube videos, stop doing all of that and shut off as much technology as possible, like an hour before going to bed. The only technology or screen that you will look at is for specifically informative purposes, like reading or checking communications maybe, but you don't need to have such a high level of connectivity. I think that kind of stuff is overrated. Mindfulness meditation, either before you go to bed or right after you wake up. It doesn't really matter where you put it. Just constant meditation comes with a slew of benefits, and I don't know of any negative effects that meditation has, other than maybe like just taking 10 minutes out of your day. But it's really helped me a lot with multiple different problems, including like temper, controlling emotions and urges like overall, as well as just making life seem brighter, because everything seems brighter when I'm away from technology for an extended period of time. Like I went to a camping thing recently, and I used my phone like for a total of maybe 20 minutes. I didn't get on Clash of Clans, I didn't get on Snapchat Or, well, I did get on Snapchat twice, but that was to send streaks because I have friends who are really hell-bent on how good streaks supposedly are, even though they don't do anything. I only got on Discord a couple times, and that was it. I didn't get on any games. I didn't get on any video games the entire time I was there. I got on Snapchat twice the entire time, and both uses were like 5 minutes. And I got on Discord, I think, once or twice to add a new person that I just met, as well as to check a server that I'm moderating, the Easy Peasy server. And I think that was it. Those were some of the best 2 days that I've ever had in my life, period. I went out with a ton of other boys around my age, and we all just went outside and did fun things, and it was amazing. Like, there were certain periods of it where I was just kind of sitting around watching other people do stuff, but that was because I forgot to bring an extra towel because I'm a goofball, so I couldn't go swimming. I realize now that that's not an excuse, but I thought it was at the time, so I ran with it. But that was one of the best times I've had. Just go get away from technology for a long time, for an extended time with friends, and see how amazing life can be. And if your friends are not willing to go without technology, without like constantly checking Snapchat, Instagram, without constantly playing video games, then your friends are probably not on a very good path. If they can't stay off of video games and technology for very long, then they're probably not the type of friends that are going to have a very big, happy family in the future. They're probably just going to, if at all, they're probably going to have like a girlfriend and that's it. Because it's just like, if you're not going to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can be, why are your children going to be either? Why are your children going to be the best version of themselves? I am not currently the best version of myself, I don't think, because there's still tons of other things that I can improve in my life that I'm just blocked by, like, paywalls and stuff. But a lot of that's about to go away, because I'm about to turn 16 in a month, so people might actually want to hire me, and then paywalls can just be shut down everywhere. What was the fifth thing? Oh yeah, reduce your standards for comfort. If you can fall asleep on your floor, like every night for a month or so, then I can guarantee you can fall asleep just about anywhere, because your floor is supposed to be like, that's supposed to be the epitome of uncomfortableness, right? So if you can fall asleep on your floor, you can fall asleep anywhere. So the logic does make sense. And so far as I know, I can't really think of anything that really combats that logic. Like, if you can fall asleep on something uncomfortable, you can fall asleep twice as fast, like, on any sort of furniture. Which is what happened to me the last sleepover that I had. It was, like, maybe 9 o'clock. And one of our friends had just left, so it was only the three they were actually sleeping over left. And like, it was only 9 o'clock, 9:15, but I was already passing out. I was like, whoa, I'm already so tired. And initially I thought it was just because I get very easily bored by watching someone else play video games, especially like those those medieval times, like the Viking Age, like all the games that are very combat oriented, basically all open world combat oriented games that take place throughout like 800 to about 1500. I just can't sit there and watch those games without getting drowsy. So I thought it was that initially, but I think it really is just because my sleep is now fixed. My sleep is so specifically fixed to 9 o'clock that now that's what my body's used to. It's not used to being able to go to 12 anymore. I can't do that anymore unless I'm standing up the entire time. And even then, I'll probably collapse. A lot of people will not like to hear this kind of stuff, and they'll be like, oh, that's lame, or that's boring. That's what's best for you. I don't see why health has to be such a boring thing to prioritize. Literally just going to bed at 9 o'clock and waking up at 6 is probably one of the best things that you can do for your future, for yourself, for your future everyone, for everyone currently. If you wake up consistently at a good time every single day for like a year, your parents are going to be more proud of you than if you started making thousands just yesterday. Because you can be as rich, or maybe not as rich as you want. There's going to be a certain level where it's like that outshines everything. But you can be making $2,000 a month, and you can still be super unhealthy, and your parents will still be disappointed in where you're going to go, because that $2,000 is not going to last very long, but your health lasts forever. But if you're making $500 a month right now, and you're incredibly healthy, you're going to the gym consistently, you're working up at a good time, you're not eating any garbage, this person is going to be happier for a lot longer than this one. The person that is practically given money is not going to keep it for a very long time. Whereas the person that has to work hard for that money keeps climbing up the ranks and almost never stops. There's a reason why a lot of rags to riches stories are just people that are like, I was tired of my life being like this, and then they just turned around and became healthier, and they became smarter. Most rags to riches stories, barring Timothy Dexter, aren't going to be like, dumb person finds money, dumb person invests money into something that was actually good, and dumb person makes more money. It's almost always a person that was about average level or slightly above average level intelligence, just wanting to climb the ranks as quick as they can because they didn't want to live a life like this anymore. They were sick of working the night shift. They were sick of waking up at like 1 o'clock every morning just to go to work to make below average pay and walk through neighborhoods in order to get there that sucked. So they wanted to climb the ranks so that they didn't have to worry about, like working a 9 to 5 anymore. They could work from home, or they could work like in a specific other job that they actually like doing. That's 95% of the purpose of everyone that becomes rich that isn't just born into it. Anyone that goes from rags to riches will tell you that the reason why they went from rags to riches, if they're being honest, is that they didn't like life as a poor or middle class person, because it sucks. A lot of things are locked behind a paywall in America, UK, pretty much anywhere in the Western world. Most good things are going to be locked behind a paywall, especially healthcare in the US. So in order to even really be consistently healthy, you're going to want to get a good sum of money so that you can spend that on good things like supplements, like real supplements. Stop throwing it on melatonin supplements. Start taking like zinc and other stuff like that, magnesium, like vitamins and minerals that'll actually help you rather than just something that you don't actually need. I think that's the end of this video. Contrary to what I've been thinking and saying recently, I'm going to go play Minecraft for the second day in a row with a friend of mine that I just met at the AP conference 2 weeks ago. we're gonna go play Minecraft, and I'm gonna go see if Minecraft is even fun anymore. Because I can't tell if it is or not. Because I did have a good time at Nate's yesterday, but it wasn't really like, it wasn't really because of the Minecraft. It was just because we're good friends now, so we can have a good time doing pretty much anything. I mean, technology still needs to really be there for Nate to have a good time. But a lot of the fun that we had was more related to memes and stuff like that rather than Minecraft, because we're doing a permadeath challenge, so we restarted a lot because he kept dying. And I was one of the deaths, but that was because I saw an Enderman when it was too late. But this is all important. I keep going on tangents. I go on tangents really easy. I need a script. I stutter and I go on tangents. So whenever I'm able to get like a dual monitor setup, I'm getting a dual monitor setup so that I can have one screen be so I can have one screen be my face cam and everything on it, and then the other screen be my script, so that I can stop wasting 30 minutes of each video going over stuff that's not related. I think the diet thing is still helpful, because it's like there's no excuse to not go on a good diet. There just isn't. And I could go, if you want to like sort of conversate with me, I guess I can make a Discord server, like a free Discord server, while my channel is still small. Like, if you want to conversate with me, that's fine on the topic of diet, but just know that every single point that you make towards bad stuff being better in any sort of way, your arguments are immediately going to go down the drain, because they're going to either be the complete opposite way around, or they're just not true. So just, please, for the love of everything, stop making excuses for your diet. That's the biggest takeaway from this video. Once you fix your diet and your sleep, a lot of life becomes a lot brighter. And that's without even quitting addictions or anything. I think probably the first step on your road to success would probably be quitting your addictions, which is why my video on quitting pornography was one of the first things that I've uploaded. Because I think quitting addictions is just like, it's like going through life very slow and very sluggish. Just going through life very sluggish, and your addictions are just like anchors wrapped around your chest. The first step to going fast is to take a wire cutter and break the chain link holding you to that anchor. As soon as that is taken out of the equation, there's really nothing that stops you. But yeah, it's tangent time again, I guess. Work on diet and sleep. That's the main two things. I'm gonna go find the article now for the military method that I was talking about. I'm gonna go find that so that I can give that to you in the description. I don't really have much else to say towards this, because none of this is like stuff that I know has scientific proof or backing or anything. This is all stuff that I've done. The improving diet thing, I did that. I used the military method for several weeks, and then that led to months. I've been meditating, I've been stopping hyperstimulation, and I've been sleeping on my floor pretty much every day that I'm home for the past 3 months. So these are all 5 things that I have personally tried. I can't assume all of their individual effectiveness, because I tried these all around the same time, within the span of like months or weeks of each other. It's like they all work. I can guarantee you that. Better your sleep today, because there's no reason not to, and the benefits are immense. Have a good one, and take care of yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Bye.